Walk into a traditional kitchen in northwestern Myanmar, and you're immediately met with the thick, heavy scent of wood smoke. While other regional cuisines across the country rely on fermented pastes or complex spice blends, the wood smoke itself functions as the primary seasoning here. You find it in the famous smoked meat curries and the bundles of wild vegetables suspended over the stone hearth, absorbing heat and flavor for days at a time. This pervasive smokiness emerged from a strict requirement for survival in a land that offered very few alternatives. To understand why this food tastes the way it does, we have to look past the kitchen and into the extreme environment that shaped it. Chin State sits along Myanmar's northwestern border, defined by steep, rugged mountain ranges and high-altitude terrain. This elevation creates a significantly colder climate than the Central Plains, leaving these mountain communities physically isolated from the rest of the country. That isolation meant villagers couldn't depend on lowland trade or year-round agriculture. They were forced to survive on what they could produce in a very narrow window. With the growing season cut short by the cold, families had to find a way to make their harvests and livestock last through the long, non-productive months. In the mountains, food spoilage was a threat to a family's existence. They needed a permanent way to stop time. By utilizing the continuous smoke from their indoor hearths and the dry mountain air, they found a way to systematically pull the moisture out of their food. Removing that moisture effectively stops bacterial growth at the cellular level. This process turns perishable ingredients into stable rations that can be stored for months. This technique is applied to everything they consume, from wild greens foraged in the forest to the proteins gathered from livestock or hunting. Although smoke is the region's signature, it's important to note that it's a natural consequence of the preservation process, not something added to every single dish for effect. Preparation styles and specific flavors still vary between households, shifting based on which wild plants or meats are available to a specific family. But the foundational principle remains the same: a culture of extreme resourcefulness, ensuring that nothing they harvest goes to waste. In this context, a meal is more than a recipe. It's a historical record of how generations of people adapted to their environment. When you eat these smoked dishes, you are tasting the history of the mountains, the daily fires, and the biting cold that defined life here for centuries. The lingering taste of smoke serves as a tangible reminder of that human resilience. The identity of the Chin people is inseparable from the survival history woven into their everyday meals. If you're ready to experience that history for yourself, seek out the smoke-infused flavor